Hey everyone, Lauren here. Today I wanted to talk about science in the public education system. So just a little bit about me. I am a California native. I've lived in California all my life, and I am currently a science major, specifically geology. I've been a college student now for a few years. And I've been thinking about this subject a lot, how science is taught to students at a young age, how science appeals to students, and it's been on my mind because of I've kind of had a long history with science now, so it is something that's interesting, and I think that we should all be concerned about this. But I stumbled upon some articles that I thought were interesting, so I'll just read the headlines. One article said the first public draft Next Generation Science Standards was released on May 11th, and it is open for discussion until June 1st. And this is the first substantial update to national science teaching standards in 15 years. So I thought this was interesting. I do want to learn more about specifically what's going on with these standards, what exactly the school system is doing in regards to teaching science. Now, I wanted to ask you, as the viewer, what has your experience been in science? I mean, what are your memories? Do you remember back to middle school or high school? Did science come easily to you? Was it really difficult for you? Did you pursue science? How are your feelings on that? So for me, it's been interesting because I can remember back to elementary school, middle school, somewhat covering science. I don't really remember it specifically, but I did do science projects. That was a big thing. But my most fresh memories of science and being introduced to science was in high school when I took chemistry, physics, biology. And I have to say that chemistry is one class that I never forgot. It really intimidated me. I'll say that about chemistry. I remember being in the classroom doing calculations, doing word problems from the board. We did do some experiments and whatnot, but I always viewed it as being in the classroom. We didn't, or being inside, being in a room. We never really talked about how chemistry expands out to other industries, how it's really a driving force in so many industries. So I thought while I was in school, I never really thought about how important chemistry is. I was really closed-minded to chemistry, and I think that because it was so challenging for me, I shut my mind off to science. I really did. I said, you know what, science isn't for me. Chemistry is really challenging. I didn't see any applications to chemistry outside of the classroom. So I just told myself I didn't want to ever be a science major, and so I went to college as a business major because I enjoy talking to people. I mean, there were reasons why I chose business. But as I got deeper into business, I noticed that I didn't want to be in business. It just wasn't where I was at. And I had a growing interest in geology out of everything after taking a few general geology courses, and I noticed that, I'd always been interested in the environment, in the outdoors, learning about rock structures, learning about water, things like that. And so I decided to make a big decision in my life, and that was to become a geology major. Basically, a very intense science major. So I'm kind of surprised now, and I'm kind of proud of myself that, I overcame my fear in science, my fear of chemistry, and now I am pursuing geology. I just finished my last chemistry class this semester. I'm going to be doing physics and calculus, and I'm a lot more open-minded to it now. I guess it's because I'm just older and, I can apply more concepts to the real world. But sometimes, or a lot of the time, I do think about when I was back in high school, how I thought about science, how I related myself to science. And again, like I said, I was just really close-minded. So this has me look at the school system. I mean, how is the school system putting forth science? How is the school system teaching science? And I really wonder sometimes if the school system had been more open to teaching science in different ways, applying it more to real life, if I would have discovered my interest in the outdoors sooner. Or, sometimes that crosses my mind. Obviously, I'm older now, and, my interests have changed and have covered so many different areas. But I would like to see more outside application in the science courses. And this is really important to me, and I think it should be important to everybody else because science is a driving force in everything that we do. Like I said, chemistry can be applied to so many industries, and it's being used in so many industries right now. Geology, I didn't even know what geology was until I got into high school, and I know that we learned it when we were in middle school, and it's just, to me, it's really interesting to think about again how students are learning science. What are their ideas of science? What will snag students to want to learn more about science and to not be intimidated by it? So again, can you please share your experiences with chemistry? I mean, was it, like I said, was it intimidating? Did you just happen to catch on to it? If you did have a natural interest in chemistry or physics or, other science related fields, why is that? Was it because of your parents? Did you just somehow have interest in it? Because the way that the school system, from what I remember in the school system, I kind of question why students would be interested in chemistry. That's me personally. Then again, like I said, I know some people just catch on to it naturally. So please share your opinions, and thanks for watching. Okay, so an important point that I didn't get to while I was talking in this video is the reason why this subject really stands out to me in terms of students learning science at a young age, being caught on to science at a young age, is when they pursue higher education in the long run. Because as I said, I went into school as a business major because I just turned off my mind to science. I said I didn't want to be in science. And now I am having to deal with the consequences of that. And I am now a fifth year student. I have probably another year to 2 years to go to finish my degree in geology. And so I am now running into problems of financial aid because half of my financial aid was cut since I've been in school so long. I understand, I've been in school for a long time now. This happens to students. Students just, they change their major, their interests alter, things like that. But, you know, I think that this subject is really important to me because, like I said, if science was taught differently, if it was more appealing, then I possibly could have chosen science at a younger age. And I would have probably been finished with my degree by now. I wouldn't have had to worry about what I'm doing right now. I probably would be pursuing my master's by now. So, like I said, this is just something really important. If students don't know that they like science at a young age, then it's going to be tough later on in their life when they notice how important science is. Because, like I said, I came to the realization that science is important. Now, I know that people say that all the time, but students just don't care, and especially if the classroom is not appealing at all to students, then yeah, students aren't going to want to pursue science. Students are going to want to pursue something else that isn't so intimidating. And then, like I said, this is really important for every single industry. It's really important to have interest in science, to have younger generations want to pursue science. So, so this relates, it's a spider web effect or a domino effect that it just starts to branch out. If students know that they're interested in science at a younger age, then they'll go to a university and know to pursue science. Whereas, like in my situation, and I'm pretty sure in a lot of other students' situations, they may have noticed at a later age that they wanted to pursue science or something in a related field. Okay, so, okay, that finishes good now.